Hello everybody and welcome to another video in the Shed to Tiny House. So I decided that if you guys look right over here, let me leave some stuff on the floor here. I've already got this wall panel almost out. I've decided that I'm going to have to sink my TV in order for my closet door to open and to give me more basic room in here. So that's what I'm working on. But if you guys can see, this line right here is a ½ inch up here and an inch down here, following the 2x4 in the wall. And that is my fault because I 100% built this wall. I guess I just wasn't paying attention to everything being perfectly straight. I probably mismatched something on a line up or down. I don't know. I don't have an excuse, but I was going to try to use that 2x4 as my right wall for my cavity, and then add one to the top, to the bottom, and to the left. Well, with this one being crooked, it's a whole lot easier for me to just put another one in there straight beside of this one that is crooked. So I'm going to work on that real quick, and I'll show you my process on that. You take a standard 2x4, which I don't think I have. Well, we got one up here. Let me measure to make positive sure. Okay, even though it's a 2x4, it's only 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So 1.5 inches thick, we know. So I'm going to lay my tape measure right here and go 1.5 inches away from that. But I think I want it more of 1.5 inches away from this one down here. So what I'm going to do is measure this one down here 1.5 inches perfectly. Right there. And then put my straight edge on it and get it to where it reads true. Well, there just ain't enough light in here. I think right there to right there is going to be crooked. It is. So we're going to have to come away from that one out here about to there. And there's other ways that we can verify this, and I'll show you those here in just a second as soon as I get perfect on this. That looks pretty good right there. We'll make our mark, and we hit our bottom mark, and we're a little away from the top mark. But to verify that, there's two different ways that you can do it. For one, let's measure from the edges, and we have 2.25, and we have 2.25. So that's about that. The other way that you could do it, I don't know if I've got a square in here or not. Well, if I do, I don't see it. But you could also put a square on it. Now, but I know that measuring from edge to edge is perfect because this is a factory line. You can see the blue on it. So now, the width of my TV is 3 foot. But in order to get this to fit flush, I'm going to make my own mount. And I need at least 1 inch on each side. I'm going to do 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go 3 foot 3 inch. So let me get that semi-marked here. I'm probably going to have to lengthen my lines at the top. So that's going to be 39 inch. And we're going to see how far that is from edge to edge. 41.5. So we're going to do 41.5. That'll give us a perfect line. puts me awful close to my light switch, but not close enough to worry. And once I get the line made, I'll show you. I want to move this one over just a skosh. All right. I said just a skosh. You guys ever heard that phrase, just a skosh? Which means just a little. And we're going to put our level up here. We're going to find both of our marks. That is a perfect marked line. So now we're going to take and mark it. We're going to extend these lines. Let me get a smaller level. One that's easier to hold up there. And same way with down here. Now we're not going to cut this out tonight. And I'll tell you why here in just a second. It is about 11:30 at night. And Dad's already in bed. Neighbors over here I'm sure are in bed. And I don't want to go making a bunch of noise. I'm going to go ahead and cross this line here out. So I don't accidentally cut it. And I'm just going to make a squiggly line through it. So I know not to cut that line. All right. So there is our basic layout. Get you back here where you can see it. And yeah, it's going to be a big TV, but I already have it and it's a new TV. So I am ready to cut this out, which I'm not going to do tonight because like I said, I don't want to make a bunch of noise. But I think here in a minute, I will go ahead and take the rest of these screws out. Let's see. That might prove to be harder than what I thought because I put this wall board on before I put this side wall board on. I didn't leave, I just went down here to finish this. I'm right here. I'm going to make sure that I got every single one out. At this moment, I think I have, but I feel like there should be another one here, but there's not. I think that's it. All right. Now we'll see if this wallboard will slide on out. And I also have to remember, and I'm going to write it right here, I'm just going to write power and then just kind of draw me an arrow where I think it needs to go. I'm going to run its own power up in there like I did at the living room one, which I have to completely redo. Let's see if I can figure out how to... Yeah, see, I still feel like there's something holding it. But I sure don't see any screws left in there. Kind of wiggle it a little bit. Try to wiggle it into the bottom. There it goes. That might be a little hard to get back in there, but I think we can do it. All right, so there's that. So I want to cut this out, then temporarily put it in there because I'm going to have two studs. This is not a load-bearing wall. In fact, the wall is not at the touch, is not even at the top, is not even touching the ceiling. As you can see, there's about a 1/16 inch of a gap up there. because the ceiling bowed up just a little bit, because this used to be the porch roof. So it's not a load-bearing wall, and I'm going to end up cutting one or maybe even two studs out of it, but then we're going to box it in. But anyways, I'll cut this out perfectly, and then I'll put this back in temporary. I'll mark each one of the studs, top and bottom, and then I know that in order to make this my face of the inside of the cavity, that I want to go up 1.5 inches on each one of those. I'll cut those studs out, knock the center pieces out, take the insulation out, build my frame for it, put this back in after I put power in for it. And it's not that hard of a job, but unfortunately we're not going to see all that on this video. Basically this video, unfortunately, is just going to be this, and I need to do some cleaning up and some moving around in here. So I can kind of show you, like this stove right here, it's in my way right now. I need to move it and put it where it goes temporary, just to kind of see what it's going to look like and to get it out of my way in here. I have a chair that needs to go out on the porch. I have insulation that needs to go back in the bathroom just for tonight, because it comes back out and goes upstairs. But I got to get it cleaned up in here. I can't work around all this mess. I've got a microwave that is a small, low watt microwave. I think it's only like a 500 or 600 watt microwave, 700 watt microwave, which will be perfect for solar. So, and I've got the design and the place that it's going to go, but I don't have, none of that's ready yet. So I want to get this room in here textured, but first I've got some organization and stuff that I've got to do. So I'm going to try to jump on it real quick and get some stuff taken care of. And well, I guess I can show you guys a little bit of it. I'm going to start right here in this corner because that's where the stove goes, right there. But I'm actually going to start on top of this refrigerator and get all this stuff here cleaned out, so I'll have a place to put my my microwave for now. So if I don't talk a lot here for a little while, please don't think that I'm mad at you or I don't want to talk, or I'm just trying to be a mysterious person and not speak. It's just, I'm trying to get some stuff done here. And quite frankly, I run out of things to talk to you guys about. I do want to talk to you guys about, I haven't got the exact prices yet, but I'm getting ready to underskirt the tiny house. But I have most of the materials to do it. And the materials to underskirt something is expensive. Well, I have most of it left over from a job. And I kind of want to use that. But it's white. And everybody tells me I'm not going to like the white with the brown and green home. And they're probably right. But, there's some more shims had if I needed them, and I probably still will for the center. I'm going to put these up here in this window ledge, which I'll show you here in a little bit. This place is set for, what, 2 years now? And I have a little bit of water damage on top of my board here. It may have been there before because it's been raining for the last 2 days and it's not wet right now. But I do want to look into that and make sure that I caulk that window really good on the outside. There's my refrigerator handles. I'm going to put them inside the refrigerator. So anyways, this video is not going to be the best video in the world because it's just mostly me talking and cleaning up and getting things like that done. There's some type of a list I've written down. Put it up there. Alright, I think this rack, I know it goes in here, but I think I can get it in there fairly easy. There we go. Alright, so now the top of the refrigerator is cleaned off. I'm going to try to wipe it off just a little bit. This refrigerator needs a big cleaning. It stayed out in the storage for a year, and then it come over here and went into the garage in storage for a long time, and now it's been in here and it's not been plugged in, and it's got dust all over it. And all right, so now I'm going to turn you around, I guess, and we're going to work on getting this here cleaned off. I've got nowhere for tools to go. I know what I want eventually. I want this room, the bedroom, completely textured. And then I can set up a small temporary collapsible table in there to put all my tools and stuff on. And this can become storage once it's textured. But I decided to change things around and sink my TV in. Now I'm not able to turn you guys around to see me do this. All right. Whew. So there it is. And like I said, that's just for storage. Don't forget, we still have light switches back here that we stupidly put in there. I don't know, I wasn't thinking. So they've got to be switched to this side of the wall. No problem. All right, so now I think what I'm going to work on is I want to get this chair out of here. So I got to clean it all off. This is all my electrical stuff, which I don't want to set up here, but I'm going to, because that's where they go. But I want to vacuum up there first. You guys remember my son, Redneck Ricky. He used to be on the channel a lot until he became a teenager. Now he's not interested in being on the channel, but he is actually going to do the insulation work. But before he can insulate, I don't even know why that thing is still in here. Before he can insulate, I have to get up there and run the electric. Is he smart enough to run the electric? Oh, absolutely. But I don't even know how I want it, so I know he's not going to know. I'm going to go ahead and open up the outside door and move this chair out. All right. Now, oh, you guys look like you're about to fall off the tripod. Oh, tell you, we're going to have to fire this camera guy. All right. Oh, there's the square. I'm trying to figure out where I can put things that have to be stored in here temporarily, like this leaf blower, because before I put the center piers in the house, I want to blow all the leaves out from underneath of it. And definitely before I underskirt the place, I want those up there. Alright, so that took care of that. There's a partial shim. We'll put it back behind you guys. Okay, so now I would say we're down to temporarily storing this insulation in the bathroom. This is where I've got all the insulation stored, but I had to take some of it out to be able to get some measurements in there the way that I needed. All right, there. 2 more small pieces. Before Redneck Ricky starts insulating upstairs, yeah, I want to get all of that cleaned out and swept, and then I'll get up there and I'll do all my wiring, and then I'll sweep it out again, and then load all the insulation up there so Ricky can get started and be comfortable up there, because you can't stand, as you can see. On your knees is the best you can be. That was a rhyme. I'm a poet and don't know it. But anyways, you know, he's going to be on his knees, so I don't want him to be hitting wood chips and all that good stuff up there. This will be the first time that he's ever done anything like that, which, although it's not very hard, it's all pretty well common sense, which he has plenty of. I still want him to have the best experience that he can have while doing this. See, I need a place to stack tools. But once I get a little bit of organization in here, hopefully, well, I can tell you what my hopes are. By the end of this week, I'm in hopes to have this all cleaned out, this up here wired and insulated, and this bedroom in here textured and set up for storage. Because once it's textured, then I want to come in here, start doing the work that I need to do in here, and I'll show you that here. Well, actually, you guys can see it from right here. You see this, trying to find it in the camera. That right there, where that blue board is, that is a sunk-in spot for a TV. That's what we're making in the bedroom too. I don't know where I got my measurements from, but I'm way off on my measurements. Even my small TV that I thought I measured this for is way too big to go in there. And now I've gone up to a 42-inch TV that I want to put in there. So I have to go quite a bit bigger. So that's all going to have to be redone. I can't take the walls out of there until I take the stairs out. I can't do that until upstairs is insulated and walls put up, the OSB put up there. So everything's just kind of hurry up and wait on each other. Alright. So basically all I'm trying to do right now is clean this stove off. And then we have to clean the spot out for the stove to go, where it's originally going to go, permanently going to go. Now this I'm going to need for tomorrow. This is actually no good. Maybe I'll throw that in the back of the Lincoln and throw it away. And these, Need to just be stacked over here on the steps, I guess. Now this stove is brand new, never been used, but I'm going to have to modify it. Because right now it's set up for natural gas. And you couldn't tell it's new by as much dust as on there. There's at least a 1/4 inch of dust. Pathetic. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up down here on the floor just a little bit to make this as easy as possible. My underlayment for my flooring. That square we couldn't find. You know what? Let's go in here real quick. Let's make sure that these corners in here are square. Just to make positive sure. I'm going to lay that right there. Get it up there to where it's square on the top line. And then check my side line. Oh, it is perfect. And we'll check this one down here. That's going to be kind of hard to do. Try the inside part of it. Needs to go up just a hair. And that is perfect. Awesome. Just second guess myself. Now this is not a mistake that I made. I didn't even know I had to build that in or wanted to build that in. So this is an afterthought. Thank God I didn't texture it and I'm able to go ahead and do it. This in here, however, on the other hand, is a mistake. I don't know how that happened. The light switches that are behind the refrigerator are a mistake. Now we got to clean up that mess. So I think what I'm going to do, I don't know what this box is. That's a Yale. That's a lock box. I do know what that goes to now. That is not even mine, actually. Those can be thrown away. Those are from where we painted. Let's see. I think I can put this clamp right there. Temporary. Out of the way. These here can be gotten rid of. I know it doesn't make much sense, but I'm actually going to lay them on the stove because I'm going to carry them right out to the Lincoln and get ready to get rid of those. Now, I need to just get down there on my butt and wind up some cord and get everything done. So anyways, my question earlier about that underskirting was, what I have is white. And I got to buy a few more pieces to do it. And white is what they stock. I think any other color I've got to order. Do you think I should do it in white or go ahead and order a brown or a green? I think brown would probably look best, but green wouldn't look bad either, because I have both on my building. But then that kind of cornholes me into the color of this building pretty much forever, which I don't mind that. I think that actually might be out of my box. It is. So I could never wind all that up. Alright, let me scoot on over here to where we can get into this box. But anyways, so my thought was, perhaps I could just put on the white that I have now and paint it. So I was thinking the best way to paint now, well, it used to be the best way to paint, was to paint what am I trying to say here? Oh, is to paint it with outdoor house paint and put a product called a Mossel Bond, which sticks to like vinyl siding and stuff. And that's basically, I might need those out. No, I don't think I did. That's basically makes it stick to plastic or to vinyl siding, which is basically what underskirting is. Same material as vinyl siding. So, but by looking at Walmart, I found spray paint that is the right color, brown, that I would want. And it's a little pricey. It's like $5 a can. But I don't think it would take a ton of cans to do it. And it says it bonds to plastic. That was my whole thought on that. It would be something fairly quick to do. I think I could do it, you know, within, let's say, a half a day, just outside tinkering. I guess I'm going to look and see what it costs to order a brown or green underskirting. Because it's not just the underskirting. I bet that goes upstairs. I bet. But, you know, you also have to order the back lap and the connecting track. And, you know, there's a lot that you got to order with underskirting. Ground channel. Of course, the ground channel can be just basically any color. It doesn't have to be green. It would be better to match, but you're not going to see it. Or at least not much of it. Because honestly, I don't know that they make a colored ground channel. I'm sure they did. And I'm sure I've probably ordered it before and I just don't remember that part. But anyways, bleep bloop it down there in the comments. You know, what you think I should do on that. Do you think painting it would do good enough? Or do you think I the right color? Of course, now if I order it, I can't use the white that I've got already in stock. So that's going to be a big, big, big price difference. All right. Now I need to get this box, I think, out to the chair on the porch, maybe. All three of these little boxes here. All right, let me go ahead and open up the door. Let's get you guys up here where you can actually see. Hello. All right. How about I just bring you guys back when I get this done? I can't show you exactly what I'm doing because I can't hold the camera and do this. All right, now that I got that corner cleaned out, and you can see it's cleaned and I swept it. I have the stove already moved over here to about where I'm at, where you guys are at. And we're going to see about sliding it on in here. And this is also going to tell me how my design turned out as far as room wise. And I also know now that I have to have power. So that's another panel I'm going to have to pull out, which I can just jump from the power right up there, which is for an overhead stove, an over stove vent, I guess. So this is going to go right back in this corner. Well, either the stove ain't level, well, I can see the stove ain't level. Okay, well that's good. So, talking about a tight fit. I can do it, but talking about a tight fit. Because now, mind you, there's going to be whoa, you guys are falling. Anyways, I'll show you here in a minute. There's going to be countertop over here. So, in order to cook, I'm going to have to stand here to cook. But I do have room. Now, the big thing, and I don't think it's going to work, because I ended up with a bigger refrigerator than what I thought. But my refrigerator is pushed out this way. Oh, and see, I just turned the light off. Okay, will the oven door open completely? Oh, it will. Look at that. Now, I can't, well, you guys can't even see it. See, we got to fire that cameraman. I can't stand in there and put my things in the oven, but I can come here to the side and put everything I need in the oven. Very good. So that did work out. Now, is there a whole lot of real estate in there? No. And then over here, on this side, from here to that wall, is going to be, if I remember right, it was a 6-foot countertop that I've got. Well, boy, it sure ain't looking like it. Hold on, let me go get my tape measure. Of course, I can cut things down and customize things and all that good stuff. Oh, it's 5 foot. So either I'm thinking wrong or something. So, but my whole design idea when I did all of this was I wanted everything to be full size. I didn't want a little 2-burner or 3-burner camper stove or nothing like that. I want a full-size stove. I want a full-size refrigerator. I want a kitchen sink with some cabinetry. I want a regular commode. I want a regular bathroom sink. I want a shower. No, I really wanted a bathtub, but I didn't have enough room to do a bathtub, so we're doing a decent sized stand-up shower. It's not extremely small, but it's not extremely big either. Let me get these burner covers or whatever they're called on the stove real quick. I tried to dust off the top of the stove as best I could. I think that's how those go on there. That seems right. Anyways, and also, if anybody knows, okay, I have a stove at home. Let me get you guys away from that shining light. There, that's more of a yellow light. I have a stove at home that my initial thoughts was buying a new stove, putting it in my home, and bringing my stove over here to put into this because this was just going to be a hunting cabin or a cabin that just stays vacant. Now that I'm talking about living in it, I took the new stove and refrigerator that I bought from my place and put them in here, and I'll leave my old one in there. But what led me down to that design style, does that sound right? I don't know. My stove at home is, I'm going to say approximately 10 years old. And I cannot find the products that I need to convert it from natural gas to propane. This one being a new stove, I'm able to find that, but I don't know what to look for. So if anybody out there knows what I need to do to convert this stove, which is a Frigidaire stove, bought both Frigidaire stove and refrigerator, Let me know, what I should buy. And sorry, my mind just went blank. I just happen to remember that I bought this refrigerator also has an ice maker in it. And I didn't run an ice maker line, and is that important to me? So I got to think about that too before I start texturing walls, because I won't run it underneath the house because I live in Ohio and we have bad winters. I would want to run it in the wall, so I got to think about that too. Ice maker is probably not that important to me, but what do I need to? Do I need a regulator? This looks like it has a regulator in it in the stove. I will be running it off of propane tanks. Can I buy like an orifice like you do for a furnace? Or do I have to buy all the pilots and the burner assembly itself? I'll do a little bit of research, see what I can come up with. But if somebody there has done this before on a new modern stove, please let me know what you've done. That way I can kind of maybe get a little heads up on what to do. I think I'm just going to finish continuing cleaning up. And, man, I want to put everything up in the loft to get it out of the way down here. But we're getting ready to work up in the lofts. So I think I'm just going to try to continue organizing. I know that wall there has to eventually come out. And I'm hoping I can do that with that windowsill on there. Let me look at that real quick. I'll turn you guys around so you at least know what I'm looking at. I have to take this wall. Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. I see it right here. I just didn't see this one earlier. So now I think I know that cold water is going to come in. Let's see. How's that going to work? This in here says hot water. This one down here says cold. So my cold water is going to be coming in, feeding into my hot water tank, which will be up underneath my kitchen sink, and going back out to hot water. Okay, so I don't need to take that wall back out. But if I needed to, I could. I can see that now. So I do have to take the small partial wall out. Well, I guess it's not a partial wall. Behind there, and drop a power box down to plug the light in on my stove. And the sad part about it is I ended up with this stove and another stove at the same time. The other stove was used, but it was in really, really, really good shape. But I gave it to my daughter, Lori and Ian, for the dumpy trailer. But it had a feature on it that I liked extremely well. And that was a digital clock on the back. And this one doesn't have that. That's why I didn't think about adding power. But apparently it has a light in the oven, which is going to be awesome. And also, another thing. Now, mistake me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm mistaken. But I'm going to run this off of like propane grill tanks. The reason is because I'm going to build something outside for them to be housed in. And I don't want it to be real tall with like the, 40-gallon tanks? So I think what I'm going to be running is like 15-gallon tanks. Has anybody out there ever run a stove on propane like that? If so, how long does it last? Now, I did this years and years and years and years and years ago. And I can't remember how long it lasted. If I had to change it out once a month, not that big of a deal whatsoever. I'm not going to be doing a ton of baking, I don't think. So it's mostly going to be the cooktop that'll be used. And, I mean, who am I joking? Now with air fryers and microwaves and everything, even it doesn't get used a lot. So it's going to be used minimal. But let's just say Thanksgiving dinner. I use my stovetop a lot and I use my oven a lot to do a turkey all night, blah, 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 blah. What am I looking at? If I got a regular 15-pound, like it would go on a grill, and I got hooked up onto there, and I'm wanting to do a turkey and a full Thanksgiving meal. Am I going to make it on one tank or two, or is it going to take me 6 or 7 of them? If you know, bleep bloop it down there in the bottom, and kind of let me know, what's your experience with that. And if you also know how to change this thing over to propane, let me know how you've done that and how you accomplished that, maybe where you got the parts. And other than that, I think I'm just going to continue cleaning. I see some things that definitely don't belong in here that maybe I can set out on the porch and get Ricky to put up tomorrow. Well, all of that right there doesn't need to be in here. This scrap wood, I've used so much of it, I'm down to such small pieces, I think it can go to the burn pile. The electrical wire goes upstairs. The wire nuts and everything we'll put upstairs, even though we probably won't need them yet. That stuff can go into my personal stuff, which God only knows where I'm going to put all of it. The paint and stuff can go back into the garage. Yeah, I think I can figure all this out. I think I got it. So, anyways, I'm going to take a little bit of a break real quick, and I'll bring you guys back when I get something accomplished. Alright, I got all over by the stairs cleaned up. So now I'm going to try to put the cornhole boards back in here. These don't need to be in here. But I don't have a better place to put them at this second. And they definitely ain't going to fit in there, so I'm going to have to put them long ways, like such. And then put those in there. And that at least gets them out of the way temporarily. At least until tomorrow. Maybe I'll figure out a better place for those to be. I'm just doing some sweeping up here. I'll show you guys a few things that I did once I get this done. I'm trying to definitely make sure that the steps are also cleaned off. Oh, that didn't sound good. I tried to put that box out there and it fell. So I'll turn the porch light on here in a minute and pick all that out. Alright. Got a couple more things down here. I see these tin snips. I don't even remember what I had them in here for, but I definitely don't need them anytime soon. So these can go into a pile that can be taken back to the garage. Alright, now we'll finish sweeping out underneath here. Now I can get to the air conditioner to turn it on and off really easy. And I can get upstairs if I need to. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect tonight, but it's going to be 100% better than what it was. Absolutely going to be better than what it was. Alright, I'll show you my pile that I've got to clean up. And then I will show you, well, first I'll show you what all I've done. As we can see, all this here is clean. And I got everything over here stacked neatly on top of that little table and under that little table. And then I took that scrap wood that I said I was going to throw away and put on top of the stove that I could lay some tools that I use every day, except for the green handle tin snips. Those will go in the garage. But I use them every day, and at least now I know where they'll be. But look how dirty that stove is. Oh, God, I got to get that cleaned up. But, and I'm going to be tap dancing with them things quite a bit because they're going to be in my way. I just have no other place to put them at this moment. And there's my pile left. The paint goes over to the garage tomorrow. The trash just needs to be taken out. That's the majority of it. And then my chop saw. I think I'm going to put it over here with the cornhole boards. We've got a cord right here. And I just plugged in a block over here. And we'll plug that in, that way that don't get lost. And I think we're going to get the chop saw picked up. And the rest of it's pretty much just trash and paint that I got to pick up. We'll organize a little bit back in that bedroom. Maybe go ahead and pull that piece of OSB that we took off earlier in the beginning of the video. Maybe we'll take it off or take it out and get it laid to where we can get it cut tomorrow, since we can make some noise in here tomorrow. And chances of anybody hearing it are slim to none. It's just, I don't want to take a chance. I'm not that pressed to get that part done. I mean, I am, but I'm not. So, alright. So we're going to clean this up. Shake it off just a little bit. And grab it and put it over here. Now that's nice and out of the way. And then we'll sweep a little bit more. I need to bring on some trash bags so I can take some trash home and get rid of it. I don't have trash service here yet, which I will have eventually. Well, you know, it's hard. Let's see. I'd like this. I'd like to know what I'd ever did with the screws to mount that with. It must be in one of the boxes. That is probably not going to stay there. But it can stay there temporary. Well, what I was going to say is it's hard to wrap my head around the fact of that I was building this basically for a weekend retreat, a hunting cabin, something along those natures, to where now I'm looking at living in it permanently full time for several years maybe. You know, I just don't know. But that seems to be, you know, my mindset. Not that anything's really changed, because I designed it and built it as if I wanted it to live in. Have I made some mistakes? Yes, I've made some mistakes. I'm going to go back and correct those. But as far as design flow and everything goes, I would say I've done about as good of a job that could ever be done and still have everything full size the way that I want it. It's going to be a very small kitchen, but it's just me and the boys. We're going to have probably, hell, I was going to say as much room as we did at the small trailer, but no, I had a little more room over there. But we can adapt and overcome. So, all right, I think I'm going to get this paint taken outside so it can be transferred tomorrow. I see something on the floor over here I'm going to kick out. There we go. And then I'm going to get this trash picked up. I got a small bag over here plus the trash can. I can kind of compact everything. Get it ready to be transferred tomorrow. And that's probably about as far as I'm going to go with this tonight. So don't go anywhere. I'll bring you right back. And hey, while you guys are waiting on me to get right back, won't you go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe? Remember, I've asked you guys a lot of questions, so bleep bloop them down there in the comment and let me know your answers to those or any ideas or suggestions. Also, go ahead and subscribe. We've got a lot going on. We've got at least a year's worth of stuff to do here. And then some, because then we're going to go solar and completely off grid and the whole 9 yards. So go ahead and subscribe. Once you subscribe, smash that bell notification, go all the way up to the top and click all, so you'll be notified on every single video or live stream that we publish or post. Share us on your social media pages. Follow us on Facebook under General Vlog Video. And I think that's about it. You guys don't go anywhere. Let's see what this is going to look like when I'm all done. All right, and just like that, I think I'm done. So I got all that cleaned up. Got the trash in the corner ready to go. Got everything over there all cleaned up. Got everything under there all cleaned up. Got everything in here organized about the best that I can. For right now, you know how it goes. So, and in here, we've got insulation stored. I'm going to go ahead and cut the lights out in there. And let's see, this room, I've still got all the texturing in here, my drill, picked up all the screws, put them in one pile, got my bucket of water in here to wash my hands off with when I do the texturing. And I decided to go ahead and leave this board here, and I'm just going to cut it where she sits. Huh, that might have been what was holding that thing. Oh, there was another screw, I see it right there. Well, let's get it before we lose it. Well, so when I told you guys that there was another screw in there, there sure was. And it was not hidden. So I just completely missed it. But no damage done. So that means that that wall panel will go back in there very easy now. So let me throw this in the trash. I'm going to turn the air on. That way it's nice and cool in here tomorrow. And I'm going to go ahead and turn these lights out. Oh, I got to move the refrigerator. All because of my mistake, my oversight, whatever you want to call it. Goodness gracious, excuse me. Goodness, excuse me again. Normally with me, whenever there's one sneeze, there's two. Alright, I'm just getting everything put in the trash and lights turned off. I'm going to go ahead and turn this bedroom light off. So, I think that's it. I mean, I know it's kind of a long video just to be getting some cleaning done, but I did explain to you guys some process of how things are going. And once again, just to run it down, I'm hoping by the end of this week to have all the stuff off the porch. Goodness. That we just put, yes, I've got a summer cold. That we just put out there tonight, yeah. Everything except for the chair needs to go put up where it goes. Then I need to come in here and finish cleaning up here. Get it all cleaned up. Some stuff has to go into storage temporarily. Some stuff just has to be come down here temporarily. Sweep everything up. Run my electric upstairs. Sweep everything up again. Get Ricky to insulate up there. And and tomorrow get this cavity done for the TV and get the seams done, and then I'd like to get that room textured and get a temporary table set up in there. That way I can get things out of the kitchen and get them in there, because the kitchen needs some work done to it. And then I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that next weekend we'll be able to do the plumbing and the sewage. I sure hope so. I wanted to this weekend, but it didn't happen. Comes to find out that the rental company is actually closed on Saturday and Sunday, and I had planned on renting it Saturday. Well, if they're closed, I can't go get it. So hopefully within a week get a lot knocked out. Now once these things are knocked out, then I've got about another hard week of installing the plumbing and new electrical and all that. Yes, I'm going to do that. It doesn't need it, but I want to put it in conduit. Wait a minute, it is in conduit. Huh, I guess maybe I don't even need to do that. But anyways, I want to get all of that done. And then the week after that, I have to get all the plumbing installed and working and tested, covered back up. Then I have to get the underskirting. Well, I have to go put the center blocks in the house, about where I'm standing at right now. There's going to be 2 rows, so there'll be 4 more piers going underneath there. They'll be core filled. Get that done and get the underskirting on. So I want to say 2 weeks, but I bet it's going to be more like 3 weeks. But at the end of 3 weeks, if all that's done, this room here is done, then I can bop in here. I have Ricky and Ian are going to put the walls up upstairs. I'll have them working on that. I'll be down here texturing, taking out wall boards that I need to, making this thing here bigger, then texturing. And once all the texturing down here is done, everything is done upstairs, then I'm going to let Colton texture his own room, Ricky texture his own room, loft, whatever you want to call them. And then I have to build an end wall and get all the texture and everything done, and then paint. Then once paint, then flooring, then cabinetry, then yeah, it's going to be a while, but we're getting a good start on it. So anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. I've already begged for all that stuff earlier, so I'm not going to do it again. I'm just going to tell you guys that I hope you have a great day, and even better tomorrow, and an awesome night. And it is roughly, I'm going to say 1 o'clock in the morning. It is actually 1:30 in the morning. I'm going to get my happy little butt home and get to bed so I can get up bright and early in the morning and come over here and get started. So you guys, please, please, please be safe. And don't forget, I may have a lot going on. I may have even screwed up on my TV cavity, but I'm my own cameraman, which means I get to get up close and personal and gently poke you guys in the ear to turn this thing off. With all that being said, hope you have a super great night. Please, please, please be safe.